Hi, my name is Gianna Graziano, and this is the story of my faith. My first impressions with God, luckily for me, I actually grew up in a Christian home all of my life. When I was born, my parents were Christian, and actually the story of how they became Christian was because of me. When my mom was pregnant with me, she went into the doctors to find out, make sure I was healthy, this and that, and actually the doctor had come to find out that I had a high chance of becoming a Down syndrome baby. And the doctor had asked my mom that she had choices to make. And my mom kind of looked at the doctor and was like, "What do you mean we have choices?" And the doctor said, "Well, if you don't want this baby, then you can abort her." And that really took my mom by surprise. And at that time, my mom was not a Christian. And so my mom knew immediately that she did not want to do that, and that was not right. And she went home and she prayed about it, and she was like, "I'm going to keep this baby no matter what." And I think that's really when she saw God working in her as well as my dad. And they had prayed and prayed and prayed, and they said no matter what happens that we are going to keep her and we are going to love her just the same. And luckily I was born perfectly normal, and so that was the story of how my parents came to be, and I was fortunate enough to know God throughout all of my life. But really when I saw God moments was probably in high school. When I was in high school, I kind of not fell out of my faith, but I rebelled a little bit. I wasn't as strong as I wanted to be. And after I had graduated high school, I had gotten into a serious car accident with me and my two younger brothers, and it could have been fatal, and it could have been a lot more serious than it was. I was out for a couple months with severe scars and scrapes and just a lot of mental issues as well, and so that drew me a lot closer to God, and it was kind of one of those moments where He had just paused my life since I was bedridden for about 2.5 months. And I, during that time, just prayed and prayed and prayed, and especially for my brothers too, because it was a very traumatizing situation. And that's when I really saw Him working through me, and that's when I felt a lot closer to Him. And then a couple months down the road, I kind of fell back into the same routine where I just kind of stopped reading because everything was going well, didn't pray as hard, and what do you know, a year later, I get into another car accident. Wasn't as bad, but it was another moment where I had to stop and think of where is my life going and why isn't God a bigger part of my life than it should be. And so after that, it really opened up my eyes, and I have gotten a lot more closer relationship with God. A couple people that have probably influenced my life greatly would be my parents. They are both extremely great examples of two godly people in my life. My dad is such a strong Christian. I know that I can come to him with any questions about the Bible. I'll be reading and not understanding anything, and I go straight to him, and he will give me anything that I'm not understanding. And he's so well versed in the Bible that it makes me want to be like that as well. And then my mom, she is just a wonderful example of being a godly mother and lady, and she is a great example of who I want to be as a mother. So where will I go from here? I've always wanted to be a teacher all of my life, and so I am so excited to be here at Jessup and getting my teaching credentials, and hopefully I want to be teaching in a Christian school and just love on those little children like God loves on us, and I want to be that positive influence in their life and hopefully change their life and make them want to become a teacher. And I hope that that happens soon and that I get my own classroom someday and just love those children as much as I love teaching. That's my story.